Hello, everyone. News Channel 3, Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson with a YouTube and Facebook live weather update. Got 9:18 on the clock. Hope everybody's had a great Thursday evening. And what do you know? Here we are on the edge of another weekend. I can handle that. Otherwise known as Friday Eve, right? And so tomorrow we wrap up another week, and here's another weekend knocking on the door. Looks like we have a little weather action to get through before we get to that weekend, though, with a tricky morning commute possible. That's what leads the way on our docket here for tonight, I should say, because we have some ill-timed wintry precipitation, I would say, that's moving through. And this, again, is not going to be timed well for the morning commute for tomorrow. I'll get into that with the hour by hour. That's coming up. Amber is here from Wyoming. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it very much. And I'm assuming that you're talking the suburb Wyoming, not the state of Wyoming. But thank you so much, Amber, for being here. I appreciate that. We have another Arctic chill that's going to be coming in behind the wintry mix. It's going to give us perhaps a tricky morning commute. Joanne, hello to you. Always good to see you. Thank you so much. And behind that Arctic chill, we have another warm-up that's on the way. So 40 degrees next week? Are you kidding me? It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not a big stretch. So in the 7-day, I'll show you when that could be possible. I don't know if you saw the tweet or the post that I had on my Facebook page, WWMT's Keith Thompson, shameless plug, or my Twitter page, X, whatever you want to call it, at Weatherman Keith, all lowercase, all one word, shameless plug. But over the last 3 weeks, going back to 3 Thursdays ago, right? Our average low temperature, if you add up all of our low temperatures and divide by 21, it's 5 degrees. It's actually 4.8 something. So I just rounded up to 5 degrees. So as I mentioned there, if you're cold weary, that's why. Now, a lot of that, of course, or some of that is aided by a couple of record low temperatures that we had back in January, when we had back-to-back minus 18 and minus 15. So when I added up those 21 low temperatures, then, of course, and get the total, then I subtract 33, or I add up, let's say, I guess I added up 19, right? Low temperatures, and then subtracted 33 from that number. And then you divide that by 21, and you come up with only 4.8, so 5 degrees. So no wonder we are cold weary. And as I say in my post there on Facebook and Twitter, no wonder everything's frozen around here. Timmy, hello to you. Battle Creek. Good to see you. Courtney, hello. Also in BC, Ryan in Tucansha. Thanks for checking in. Joanne, weekend snow again, maybe some on Sunday. It's not going to be much, though. Saturday, though, some sunshine. I'll get to that coming up. John in Manistee got to 29 today. Had about an inch more snow today. I'm sure that you've gotten a lot there in Manistee. Loretta, hello to you in Hastings. Hello, Berry County, and Burr is a good way to put it. Tiffany, hello, and Mikey, Throwback Thursday. I hope you're having a great night as well. Melody in the house, thanks so much. Skylar, hello to you. School closing is a possibility for tomorrow. I would say not. You never know, but I just don't think so. I will say the timing of this might be a little conducive for that. But remember, the school districts around West Michigan right now aren't sitting on a lot of snow days. They've spent a lot. And so I just don't think this is going to rise to the level where a superintendent's going to say, we're going to call school. Remember, I am not the one who makes that decision, Skylar, just giving you a little advice. Timmy, it is time for some warmer weather. And Skylar, thank you so much. Hope you're doing great too. Ryan and Jackson, 40s for temps. We'll take it. Like I said, that might be a stretch, but I'll show you when we're going to get very close to it, and we could get there next week. That's coming up in the 7th day. Jeanette, thank you. Happy National Weather Person's Day, Meteorologist Day. Corey, hello to you. Bring on the weather. Okay, we've got it. Marcia, hello to Tom from Traverse City. Thanks for being here. Lily is in the house. Thanks, Lily, for being here as well from BC. Shot of reality. Hello to you, TJ's Custom Lawns from Ovid. Thanks for checking in. Carrie, we need a break. I'll do what I can. Melanie, thanks for the thanks. Sally, hello to you. warmer weather, and then see Colin this weekend. Look at that, a nice plug for Colin. You'll appreciate that. Chantal, hello to you in Vicksburg. Thanks for checking in. Shannon, hello to you, Katie. And Shanna's Joe, find that groundhog, gonna grill him. Never thought about that, but that'd be maybe tasty. I don't know. Jackie in Galesburg's here. Carla, thanks for the thanks. All right, let me move on here before people start getting mad at me. So let's talk first of all school closings. That's on my brain, right? Let's talk bus stop forecast as I squeeze that back. Now that snow graphic there makes it look like it's going to be snowing to beat the band. I think that we're going to have some wet snow. Now the big question is, I'll show you in the hour by hour coming up. It's very possible that the snow itself will actually be gone by the time the bus runs, unless you're a really early bus stop person, 6-ish, let's say. But if you're at 7 or 8 o'clock at the bus stop, or if you're 7 or 8 o'clock in the commute, I think there's a fair chance, as I'll show you in the hour by hour coming up, that there won't actually be any snow coming down. However, we are going to see several hours of wet snow, I think, overnight while you're sleeping. And the potential problem there with the winter weather advisory is that might cause some issues with a little freezing drizzle there too. Look, it's all out of here by the time we head home. So note, and I'll show you in a moment, the winter weather advisory goes away at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The reasoning for that, not only is the precip going to be moving out, but with our temps getting above freezing, I think tomorrow, hey, if we get to 34, we're going to have a party because today, I believe, is day 19 straight that we have been below freezing. We have not seen a temperature in Kalamazoo, West Michigan, really, above freezing in 19 days. So I think we break that streak tomorrow. It's going to be close. It's going to be a photo finish. So we'll see. But if we get up to 34, of course, then that's going to be melting that stuff off pretty fast, any problems on the road. So that's why when you're heading home, there won't be any issues. All right, here's the winter weather advisory. It goes until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And when it says up to another 2 inches, there could be an inch or two tomorrow. I'm going to show you that hour by hour to show you exactly when that is most likely. And the problem here is that we've got a little of that freezing drizzle that's going to be mixed in with this. And even when we warm up overnight, we're still going to see temperatures that'll be sub-freezing. And so the potential is there for some slush and some ice and some black ice out there on the highways tomorrow, hence the winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service. So take that seriously. Notice it's not for everybody. Allegan, Kent, Ottawa, Muskegon, Oceana, Newaygo, Montcalm, Mecosta counties all included in that. But I would say you would be wise if you're anywhere in West Michigan tomorrow to just give yourself a little extra time as you commute in the morning. Let's go hour by hour. Notice it's pretty quiet for us from about midnight to about 3 a.m. Enjoy the tranquility, right? Then watch this from 3 a.m. to about 6 or 7. Here we go. Look at that. Stop the clock at 6, and this is going to be a wetter snow. Look at this. Our temperatures will be in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. That's nuts. I don't even think that we have been, listen to this. I'm looking at some numbers here. We haven't even been to 30 since January 21st. So that was 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and a day ago. The last time we were at 30. The last time we were above 32 degrees, we were at 32 degrees on Saturday, January 17th. The last time we were above freezing was 3 weeks ago tomorrow when we were at 34 degrees. So if we're sitting at close to 30 by 6 a.m., well, that's going to be the warmest that we've seen in a couple of weeks. But that also means that that's going to be a pretty wet snow. And with the ground, pretty cold, thanks to all the cold weather that we've had, I think that the potential is there for there to be some icy spots, some slick spots on the highway. So that's why I believe the National Weather Service is out with that winter weather advisory. And like I said, even though it's only a part of our area, I would consider in West Michigan that you need to be careful on your commute. Notice, look at this, by noon, it is long gone. I mean, really, if we were to back this up, you would say that it's only here from about 5 a.m. to maybe 9 or 10 a.m. So it's not going to be here long, which of course would argue for lesser accumulations. But if we were to get an inch or two out of that in 4 or 5 hours, that's not what we would call heavy snow, but it could be heavy enough to be problematic since it's going to be timed for the morning commute. So those are the factors that I think that went into the Weather Service discussion or decision to issue that winter weather advisory. And I think it would be a good idea for all of us to be aware whether you're in the advisory zone or not tomorrow morning, to give yourself some extra time to be careful. All right, look at this. By tomorrow afternoon, our model here doing two things. I want you to notice two things. One, it's starting to clear us out a little bit. So we're seeing perhaps a little bit of sunshine. As 6 o'clock now, the sun hasn't even set. Whoa. It's setting at about 6:02, 6:03 tomorrow. So we might get a peek at the sun. But also notice, look at this, our temperatures have gone down from noon, even in the early morning when that snow was moving in. Remember, we were at about 27 to 30. Well, by 6 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to be in the low 20s and mid 20s. And look at that, even Fremont and Big Rapids in the upper teens. Now let's run this forward and you'll see more cold air coming in. You know what's going on here? Cold fronts coming through. Right ahead of the front and along the front, that's where we're going to see that what could be a burst of that wet snow, which again could be problematic for the morning commute. But then when that front comes through, we start to see the colder air coming in behind it. Our temps are tumbling like a rock. And by this time tomorrow night, our thermometer will have gone all the way up to around 34 perhaps in the afternoon, or around freezing anyway, and then dropped all the way back down to between 10 and 15 degrees by this time tomorrow night. And then by Saturday morning, we're going to be hanging out at about 5 to 10 degrees, 10-ish closer to the lakeshore. Thank you, Lake Michigan. And of course, in the inland areas there away from the lake, that's where we're going to be seeing the mid single digits. And of course, our cold corridor there that I call it, I-69 will certainly come to the fore there. Lansing, Charlotte, and really I should say the cold corridor also I-96 there between Lansing and Ionia and GR. So that's what we're looking at there for the cold air. All right, right now it's pretty quiet. Got a little light snow perhaps developing there in northern Ottawa County, around Muskegon County. We've got that one larger area of snow that gave us a little shot of it, maybe half an inch or so earlier today. That's about it. Temperatures right now are in the 20s, 22 as an example in Kalamazoo, upper teens, low 20s, Sturgis, Coldwater in the upper teens. There's not much wind out there right now. And so our wind chills right now are in the single digits. But I will say this, we have gone this whole week without seeing a lot of wind. And boy, did we need that. Not only are we cold weary, after the last 2 weeks of January, we were wind weary. And you remember, if you've been on this Facebook Live, you know that we were talking about those Alberta clippers, those clipper systems, fast moving, intense areas of low pressure that are riding along the jet stream, and they're in and out in a hurry. But boy, when they approach, it gets windy and warmer. And then as they're over us, it can snow to beat the band. And then it gets out of here in a hurry. And then our temperatures crash and it's windy and it's blowing all the snow around. And we have a 100-car pileup on I-196 because, people can't see. Well, we haven't had anything like that so far in the month of February, which I don't know about you, but I'm very thankful for that. But our wind will start to pick up tomorrow afternoon. So the morning, I think, will be fairly quiet as far as the wind goes. But in the afternoon, it does start to pick up. And I think that we could pop some gusts around 30. I think the National Weather Service is saying the potential is there maybe for even a 40. So we might have to do a Herbie Kirby alert on that one. But that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. So that'll blow that snow around a little bit, though if it's wet. Of course, there's not going to be too much blowing of it going around. But that will make that wind chill down just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a problem in the morning, because I think the winds will be still fairly light in the morning, though I do think we'll have a wind chill tomorrow morning in the neighborhood of 0 to 5 above. And then the temperatures fall like a rock on the 7 day, as you can see here, the WeatherGuard 7-day. Saturday morning, we're going to be around 4, anywhere between 0 and 5. All during the week, we've seen that sort of forecast projected, that model projected number sort of bouncing around. Yesterday, I think it was closer to 0. Today, it's actually closer to 5, so it's going to be between 0 and 5, I think. There won't be much wind by Saturday morning because, again, this system's going to be in and out in a hurry. And so the wind, which will be quite gusty tomorrow afternoon and in the early evening tomorrow, will be dying down pretty fast by daybreak Saturday. But for my run campers, for my run peeps out there for Saturday morning, you're looking at a low between 0 and 5. And even though there's not going to be much wind, I do think there'll be enough of a gentle breeze, we'll call it a zephyr, that will have that wind chill perhaps as low as -5. I know the Weather Service is going with maybe even -10. But that's where our temperatures will bottom out in this next Arctic shot, which is going to be really short, as you can see, in duration. A Saturday, I think, features a lot of sun. We start uber cold. and we stay pretty cold all day long. Notice our average high 32 will be nowhere near it. I think clouds start to build in by Saturday night. A little light snow, underline that. That'll be light snow on Sunday. I don't expect there'll be much precip to that. And that'll be mainly in the morning. In the afternoon, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little sun. And then we start another warm-up. With next week, we could even get to around 38 degrees. Right now, next week's weather does not look tumultuous. I'll say that, though that Thursday chill that you see on the way, we could be in for some colder weather on next Thursday. But overall, looking all the way through the second week of February, the temperature pattern looks a lot more friendly, a lot friendlier. I did a lot of chatting there. I didn't do any talking or any roll call, so I apologize. I'll have to try to catch up here. Barb, snowed all day in Sturgis and Cole, and that's because you're supposed to be in Jamaica. Amber, I think a lot of people want spring right now. The 18th was 59. Christina, I don't know. I'm not reading that on the what? Well, first of all, you know what I'm going to say about that. Come on, if you've been here long enough, I'm going to say the 18th is 13 days out. I wouldn't put a doggone dime on something that's far out. But I will say this. By the time we get a couple of days past Valentine's, so yeah, we're talking, Christina, about the 17th, maybe the 18th. I don't know about the upper 50s, but I do think we're going to be traveling well into the 40s. But listen, you know what we say on that, right? That's still 10, 12 days out. We got to find some consistency here in the models on that, because consistency over time equals confidence. Right now, I have no confidence in that part of the forecast. Now, let's give it 4 or 5 more days, and if it continues to show that signal, that model continues to show that warming signal, we'll start to pay attention to it by the time we get to day 8 or day 9. And it's still there, but right now, at 12, 13 days out, it's a dream. It could be a mirage. It might be real, but that would be wild, wouldn't it, to get up into the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. And wouldn't it be just so like West Michigan? I'm sorry, but snowing like crazy in November and December. I mean, we're sitting on nearly 70 inches of snow when we get to the end of January in Kalamazoo. Anyway, more than that, the snow belt, of course. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just stops. I've seen that happen so many times. And that could be what's going on here. But we'll just have to play it by ear. All I can tell you with some degree of certainty is what I see on that 7-day forecast there. Quenisha wants to know how long until spring. Everybody's asking that, right? You're 72 March 9th. Oh, wouldn't that be great, Cher? I will try to do that. March 9th. Thanks, Mikey, for the thanks. 34. Doesn't 34 look tasty? Unfortunately, it's going to be cloudy. Hey, Tim. You guys are always traveling. Barbados. I love it. Hey, I don't know if you've been there, but I've been there before. And, you know, I did the Malibu rum plant tour, because that's where Malibu Rum, that's their headquarters, I think, in Barbados. And here's a little quick aside. I think at least now this was a long time ago everything that I did was a long time ago. But, you know, they showed us where they actually catch the rainwater that they use. And I didn't see a filter on it. I don't know. Maybe when it goes in that rum bottle, it's like, who cares? Whatever goes in there dies anyway. But check it out. Tim, good to see you. You and Tammy. I'm glad that you guys are traveling around. And by the way, congrats on the new edition there. You have to come back with a report and tell me if that Malibu Rum tour is still there. Ken, hello to you. In Kalamazoo, thanks so much. Sherry, thanks for the thanks. Lori, thanks so much. You love Michigan weather. You know what? I got to tell you, I was just talking to my sister down in Florida today. And I was just saying, you know, I know this may not be a popular opinion with everybody, but I have to say, after a few years of rather weak winters, I'm sort of glad to see one come back that's sort of like a Michigan winter. At least to me it is anyway. Overnight, Sarah, I will, just for you. We're going to see a wet snow that's going to develop overnight. We have that winter weather advisory for a portion of the area, not for everybody, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some slick roads out there tomorrow in the morning. In the afternoon, it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be windy and getting warmer. So I hope that helps out. Give yourself a little extra time tomorrow morning for sure. Tina, heat wave, yippee. Winter Olympics start tomorrow. That's right. They're starting tomorrow. Joan, spring can't come soon enough. I think a lot of people say that. Any snow in Charlotte? Yes. Yes, Carrie, you're going to see some snow overnight. And so driving tomorrow morning on your commute, there'll likely be maybe a little slush on the roads for tomorrow in Charlotte. Just in the morning. In the afternoon, I think the conditions whatever's out there will start to melt pretty rapidly, I think. George, I like it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. As always, Sherry in Hickory Corners. Thanks for checking in, Sarah. You're very, very welcome. All right, I got to go. It's 9:38 on the clock. So in 22 minutes, Misty, hello to you. Thanks. I appreciate that. Always good to see you, by the way. Ceresco and Berry County represent. I'll be live in 21 minutes on Arc West, Michigan with an update, but you got the inside track here on YouTube and on Facebook. I will be live in an hour 21 on the Mothership News Channel 3 with a live update. Jeff Porter is here. Oh, back that up. Jeff is not here in the morning. It's Will. Will is going to be here in the morning. I was chatting with him about some weather stuff as he and I were sharing some office space in there earlier today. So will be here in the morning with live weather updates from 4:30 to 9. He's got you again at noon. I'll pick you back up at 5, 5:30, and 6. And, of course, we do another Facebook Live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. It'll be Friday night. Come on. So I hope everybody has a good night tonight. Please take it easy on the road tomorrow. Come on, it's Friday. You know you want to get to the weekend, so just give yourself a little extra time and a little extra patience. And before you know it, you'll be opening your eyes and you'll think like, I got to get out of bed. And it's like, no, it don't. It's on Saturday, and there's no better feeling than that. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. If I don't catch you tonight on the tube, I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Good night.